This is Ralph with 13 Peppers, and in today's video I'm going to be taking this fermentation I started 6.5 weeks ago with frozen peppers, and we're going to make a sauce out of it. Here we go. Now 6.5 weeks ago I started an experiment to see if I can make a fermentation out of frozen peppers. Now this time of year, unfortunately, I do not have any fresh peppers, but I have 2 freezers and a half filled of frozen peppers. I've actually been dehydrating those down to actually make some room because my wife unfortunately is not happy with me taking up all the space. And while I'm doing that, I also decided to see if I can make some fermentation out of it. Now, when you freeze peppers, it does kill the lactobacillus inside the pepper. So you need to be able to introduce that somehow. And what I did is I chopped up a bunch of my ahi cervi peppers, and I went ahead and used fresh garlic and fresh onion in there. And then also to actually hold down the entire fermentation, I actually used a couple pieces of cabbage. Now, those fresh vegetables will actually add the lactobacillus into the fermentation and kick it off. Now, roughly a couple days into it, it kicked it off nicely. I wanted to give you guys a really good look at this particular point of what it's going to look at. So let's go ahead, we're going to zoom in, and I know it's working, but I don't know if you can see bubbles and everything going up through there. Yeah, so that is working really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drain out my container here, throw it into the food processor, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you the process I used to put this all together. What we're going to do is just start off with a nice jar that we're going to put our fermentation in. You got to make sure that everything you use is sterilized. And let's start cutting up some cervi peppers and putting in there. Don't have an exact measurement. I'm just pretty much going what I like, because I like a lot of garlic. So now with this, we want to actually figure out what the weight is and put in our salt mixture. With that, you need a 2% salt mixture when you actually do this to have that into the fermentation, and you want to do that by weight. So I've already zeroed out the jar, so what I want to do is turn on my weight, put it on grams, I'm going to put on the jar, okay, and then what I want to do is I want to figure out how much it's going to be with it just about full. Right there. Zero this out. And we're at 1246. Okay. I'll get that off there. Now, what I'm going to do here, since I don't know what my brine solution is I'm going to take this and pour some of the liquid back out. Okay. And I'm going to take my measurements here. So 1246 minus 437, 31908, 809. So basically I am going to need out of 809 grams total weight of product here, I'm going to need 17 grams. It'd be roughly 2%, just slightly over that. Now that we have the liquid, let's go ahead and measure out the 17 grams of salt here. So put in a new bowl, we're going to zero that out. And then the kosher salt, we're going to weigh out 17 grams. There we go. 17 grams of salt. So now at this point, I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the salt back in the liquid. Okay. And we're going to pour the brine right back in here. Just like that. Okay. With the fermentations to keep everything down, I use cabbage. The leaves add an additional lactobacillus into this, and we just need to put it in here and hold it down. Now, what I'm going to do is want to clean off the lid. Okay. And now we're going to add our airlock. Okay. I'm going to put additional water inside here, a little bit of salt. And what I want to do is fill up the airlock. With this valve, it will actually let all the gas and everything out. Make sure that this doesn't break the surface. Okay. Put on the top cap. And with that, fermentation is ready to actually go up. Now that I actually have this blended up in the food processor, let's go ahead and take it out. So, it smells really good. Got a good amount of garlic that's coming out of this, and the peppers are mellowed out and everything, so nice. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a hot sauce out of here. With what I have here, I don't know the exact ratio of peppers to onions to garlic, so that's not really not the purpose. Basically, it was the experiment for the actual make the peppers themselves. Now what we're going to do is play with some basic flavors and try to get it to what we want to do. Now, since I ground up the peppers, I want to go ahead and add some vinegar to this. I'm going to go ahead and start up with a cup of white wine vinegar. I'm sorry, a quarter cup of white wine vinegar. If I can pour this correctly. It's actually coming out. I think I want to dilute this down because I don't want to add too much vinegar or too liquidy, but vinegar can overpower some stuff. I'm going to go ahead and use a quarter cup of purified water. All right, that's actually got that consistency, a lot thinner on here. What I want to do here initially before I start adding anything else is I want to give this just a small taste. Now the fermentation has not severely, but tremendously mellowed out the peppers, but it has just a little bit of heat and taste on the top. Now the flavor right now with this, just with the amount of garlic and everything like that, kind of got a bitter flavor to it. So at this particular time, let's go ahead and add something to sweeten it up. Sweeten it up. So what I have is some large pineapple chunks. I'm gonna go ahead and put in, I don't know, it's a Joyo hot sauce. You can kind of make it the way you want. Let's say a cup and a half of pineapple. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons, because I did measure this out in here, of dark brown sugar. Okay. And why not? I'm gonna use a little bit of honey. Let's go ahead and let's just make this thing sweet. And that's gonna be about a tablespoon, give or take. The other thing I wanna do, completely forgot, is I want to put in basically a half teaspoon of kosher salt. Let's get this blended up and see how it's going to go. Okay, I already smell that pineapple and everything. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. That does sweeten it up. You got the taste of the bitterness and everything. I think it's actually pretty good. I think ultimately I'm going to go ahead and add some more white wine vinegar here, or add another 1/4 cup, or just under a 1/4 cup. Bottle's empty. Okay. So let's put this in here. And I'm gonna let this run for quite a while to get this chopped down. Now this has the flavor and everything that I want. It's actually turned out really well. The only thing is, it is a thicker consistency than what I like. So let's go ahead and let's switch this over to the other blender here. Oh yeah. A lot finer consistency. Yeah, big difference. Cool. I'm gonna give this another taste just because I'm enjoying this. Wow, good. All right, let me go ahead and let's get this bottled up. Okay. And there we go, we have a fermented hot sauce. Now with this video, I really did not have a plan or an idea where I was trying to finish with it, so just had some rough things I was trying to do. My biggest thing is to see if I could go ahead and use the fermentation of frozen peppers and how well it works. And it actually worked extremely well. With the peppers in here, it made it very, very, very mild. So, I mean, it probably has less than 1/5 of the heat of what the actual pepper does when it's ripe. So, but the flavor is a lot more sophisticated and everything inside here. And this makes a very, very nice sauce to complement some of my other ones. Like I said, not too hot. I made it on the sweeter side. I would say Scoville on here, maybe 500 to 700. Not much at all, just enough to actually tingle the taste buds just a little bit. So, but taste is what we go for, and taste is what you got in this. So if you like this video and you appreciate what I did, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out greatly. You can also follow me on Instagram at 13 Peppers by Ralph, Facebook at 13 Peppers by Ralph, or you can also go to my website, which is 13 Peppers by Ralph. It's kind of a theme there. So there you go. I appreciate you guys very much, and you have yourself a very good day. Okay, 26th time is the charm, right? Considering it took 3 tries to realize I don't even have the frickin' mic on. Okay.